Ik ben in Bali. En niet alleen dat, ik ben bij Bumi Sehat. Een gratis organisatie die baby's op de wereld brengt en mensen gratis medische hulp aanbiedt hier op Bali.
Last year at Bumi Sehat in 2012, we did patient care, human and education services for 50,050 people. That's the recorded number. Wow. And I notice the staff often forgets to write down when they do, you know, like say a kid comes in with a cold and they take care of them, they take their temperature, they make sure they don't have an earache, they give them the proper medicine. They might forget to write that down, and that happens all the time. But those that we wrote down were over 50,000.
Hi, Robin.
Hi.
So you're the founder of Bumi Sehat?
I'm one of the founders, yes.
One of the founders. Could you tell me something about yourself?
About myself? Let's see, I'm a grandma, I'm a mother, I'm a midwife, and I'm totally devoted to building peace, one baby, one mommy, one family at a time.
Okay. And these are your...
This is my daughter, Eliana, and this is my grandson, Bodhi.
Hello, Bodhi. Hello, Ellie.
Hello.
Hello. So why did you start Bumi Sehat? Why did you...
It goes back about more than 20 years ago. I found myself pregnant here in Bali, and I started to look for a midwife. And I had my other children with midwives, and I had really beautiful, gentle births. And when I was here, I really couldn't find a midwife that I felt like was resonating with the gentle birth ideas that I had, and with the experience I had with my first 4 children. And then I met your mom.
Yeah.
And your mom was also pregnant, and I was due in February, and she was due in May. And she said that all of her friends were having cesareans. And so we started to think about, well, what can we do about that? Because obviously everybody doesn't need a cesarean.
Mm-hmm.
And so we started to look into ways to build some kind of organization that would support a gentle, natural childbirth that's culturally appropriate for people, whether they're Balinese or Westerners or Javanese or Japanese or Russian or Dutch or American or Spanish, whatever nationality they were. We wanted a gentle birthing service that would support them. We also found that a lot of the prenatal care, it seemed to me like what should be prenatal care from the OBGYNs, from the doctors who were specialists, was turning into prenatal scare.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were telling people, oh, you need a cesarean, oh, the placenta's too low, when it wasn't. And when they didn't need a cesarean, oh, there's not enough amniotic fluid. But of course, the amniotic fluid is the water inside of the baby. And if there's not enough, of course, it's very uncomfortable for the baby. The baby can't develop well because the baby can't move and enjoy being in the womb. And instead of saying to the mother, you need to drink more fluid, like they were telling people, oh, you need a cesarean.
Birth centers do you have?
Two.
So
And we do also community help, not just childbirth,
okay.
but also community
What
help.
kind of community help?
Things like we have acupuncture for people who are really chronically sick. We have pediatric clinic. We have cranial sacral. We have physiotherapists. Twice a year from Holland comes Dr. Anna Luz, and she checks everyone's eyes. Anyone who wants to come, hundreds of people come to get their eyes checked and give them free glasses. Dr. Bobby is one of our doctors here at Bumi Sehat. She's a volunteer for many years. This is her 7th or 8th year? 8th year volunteering for us to do free medical care for people.
Oh, I work with Robin really well. Robin and I are sort of soul sisters, so, you know, we have our ups and downs, but we do all right. I think Bumi Sehat is a great model for what can happen and how poor people in the world can be treated with a reasonable overhead, you know, in a place without needing millions and millions of dollars, I suppose. I think it's a great model. I wish that we could do it in other places. You know, the fact is that she was CNN hero for a good reason. She's she's stuck. She had a vision, and she just kept putting her foot right, foot left, foot until it landed. And a lot of people get help here. People just out of school wanting to learn skills, and people who are patients and don't have resources.
Umurnya berapa anak?
9 hari.
Ah, 9 days. Sudah tahu apa namanya?
Sementara Aurora. Kita panggil Aurora.
Two of your births, and I noticed that you sing during a birth.
Yes, we do sing. We sing for the Hindu people Gayatri mantra, Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha. And then for the Islam people, we do Bismillah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim. There's Christian songs that we sing. This is Made. She was born yesterday. Hi. Oh, Made. Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha. Tatsaviturvarenyam. Bhargo Deva Shadhimahi. Yo yo na prachodaya. Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha. Tatsaviturvarenyam. Bhargo Deva Shadhimahi. By singing when babies are being born, we're acknowledging that each birth is a miracle. And that's so important. Can you imagine when you're born, the family tells you your story of your birth over and over. I'm sure you've heard your birth story over and over.
Yeah, I heard that that I almost died.
Yes, you did almost die. You did almost die. And I remember going to your house and your dad, and they couldn't hear your heartbeat. And we were able to find a faint heartbeat, so we made your mom put her butt up in the air and her face down on pillows, so that your head could come out of your pelvis, so that there would be no pressure on your umbilical cord and on your placenta, so that you could survive until the surgery. And you made it. Here you are. So, yeah. But imagine that your birth story says, wow, I was born with song, and I was born with flowers. We always bring flowers to the birth. This is becomes part of the in the birth tub, and then if you're not born in the birth tub, if you're born in the bed or squatting, hanging into a rope, people pick any position they want to Bumi Sehat. And the midwives are supportive of that. But we put flowers nearby, and then we put them in the bowl with the placenta.
I think gentle birth can happen anywhere in the world, and I think gentle birth is about where your heart is. And even if you end up with a cesarean or a birth that maybe you don't find so gentle, you can always sit with your baby and do the healing work and bring the gentleness back into
Why are you here at Bumi Sehat?
I'm here from London in England because my daughter-in-law is about to give birth to a baby boy. We know it's a boy, so it's going to be a grandson for me. And she's been here for a whole day and an evening, and my son is in the room with her, and hopefully it will be sometime today.
And what do you think of Bumi Sehat up till now?
I think it's wonderful. I think the midwives are so lovely and caring and kind, and I think it's really wonderful here. They do a wonderful job.
All of Bumi Sehat's health and education services and human services are free. People can make a donation. It's just a way of making it possible for the poorest people to have the same gentle, delicious, wonderful birth service and health services as the people who the poorest people can have the same as the wealthy people. And it's a nice system because the wealthy people make big donations, which subsidizes for the people who don't have. It's very nice.
In what way do people make donations? Is it just giving money, or do they?
Sometimes giving things, like someone gave us, the Rotary gave us an ambulance.
So what exactly do you do for Bumi Sehat?
Good question. Well, let's put it that way. Someone looks after the garden and I am that person.
Are you the only gardener, or?
Unfortunately, at the moment I am, yes. So I hope that's going to change. And we get more children in the garden and teach them how to grow organic vegetables and learn more about sustainability and how to maybe, help with problems that farmers facing environmentally. Bumi Sehat is a fantastic organization. Ivo Robin is a total inspiration, and she's got the heart in the right spot, and she's working very, very hard and very committed to help the underprivileged people in Bali, and of course to help the entire field of midwifery to be a force, because as she says, every baby that's born in a gentle, beautiful way is highly likely to be a beautiful person later in life, and we need more of those.
Naast de Bumi Sehat Garden heb je ook nog Bumi Sehat lesonderwijs, de Engelslessen. Of ook wel de Neighborhood Center, Youth Center, of hoe je het ook maar wilt noemen. Ik ben een van die docenten die Engels geeft.
If you're out there watching this and you want to support us, we have lots of venues and we have a website. Please do it. We're becoming one world, and in one world we're going to all be needed.